With One Piece recently returning from break, it is no surprise to the fans that the manga is continuing with One Piece Chapter 1100 this week. Fans are incredibly excited for the story to continue, and the Kuma flashback is getting interesting with each passing chapter. Fans know that this flashback is coming to an end soon and will likely conclude within 2 or 3 more chapters, which means that these chapters are going to be incredibly exciting for the fans, as that is how the ending to Oda's flashback usually is. One Piece Chapter 1100 spoilers, and leaks are finally starting to emerge, and it appears that a lot of things are going down on Egghead Island and in other parts of the world as well. Before we begin, please throw the like button into the ocean, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any uploads. One Piece Chapter 1100 sees Saturn get involved in the Pacifista project that Kuma and Vegapunk decided to work on. This is something that fans already expected, given their knowledge of the fact that Saturn was the one who turned Kuma into a cyborg, and the fact that in the previous chapter, he was clearly seen eavesdropping on the conversation between Kuma and Vegapunk, and he mentioned that he has his own plans to tackle this situation. In One Piece Chapter 1100, he put his plan into effect when he contacted Kuma and told him that he would interfere with Bonnie and her surgery by arresting her if he did not do as he commanded. Kuma was blackmailed into not only becoming a cyborg, but, at the same time, also a member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea. Kuma had absolutely no choice but to agree to this. What's even worse is the fact that Kuma wasn't even asked to become just any cyborg. His memories were to be completely erased, and he would simply have been turned into an emotionless and memoryless weapon for the world government to utilize. Kuma had absolutely no choice, and he successfully negotiated a deal securing Bonnie's freedom and gave himself in to the world government. In exchange, both he and Bonnie would receive surgeries. His surgery would be to turn him into a cyborg, while as for Bonnie, the surgery would be to cure the sapphire scale disease. One Piece Chapter 1100 will focus on the surgeries that these two characters go through to change their lives. These surgeries are believed to be extremely long and at the same time to be carried out under the supervision of Admiral Kizaru. This is very interesting as it once again ties Kizaru to Egghead Island and to the story of Kuma, Bonnie, and Vegapunk. It also means that Kizaru is most certainly going to fall in this arc. Coming back to the flashback, these surgeries are incredibly important and massive turning points for both of their lives, and as soon as they finish, Kuma then decides to send Bonnie back to the Sorbet Kingdom. Meanwhile, Kuma is officially announced as a member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea. At the time, the 7 Warlords were interesting figures and most likely included the likes of Hancock, Mihawk, Jimby, and Crocodile, among other figures. It is believed that in One Piece Chapter 1100, fans get to see the reaction of the other Warlords of the Sea to the news of Kuma joining their order. Fans might get to see their opinion on Kuma joining, and potentially even a surprise face given the reputation of Kuma in the world of One Piece prior to that. Regardless of that, Kuma officially joins this order, and his surgery, as fans know, is carried out bit by bit. Kuma spends years with Vegapunk to get the surgery done, and by the time of the Paramount work, his surgery is complete and all his memories are completely stripped from him. It appears that the surgeries that Kuma and Bonnie are put through finish at different times. Since Bonnie's surgery is less complicated, it finishes sooner while Kuma's continues for quite a long time. Quite easily. The most shocking part of One Piece Chapter 1100 comes towards the very end when Kuma, who by this time is one of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, manages to visit Luffy's birthplace, Fuchsia Village. As to why he goes to this place and what drives him there, fans do not know at this moment at all. Kuma simply finds himself in this place, and this appears to be the cliffhanger at the end of the chapter. For any explanation as to why Kuma goes to Fuchsia Village, fans will have to wait another week. Thankfully, One Piece does not appear to be on any break, which means fans will find out their answers sooner rather than later. Of course, fans can always theorize as to why Kuma visits Fuchsia Village, and it could be likely due to Kuma having some information about the birth of Nika. Fuchsia Village is a place that hasn't drawn just Kuma but many other pirates as well. Kuma went to this place, and prior to him, Shanks camped in the place for a year. Perhaps there is something about this place that drives people towards it, especially those in the quest for the Warrior of Liberation. It is also possible that Kuma visited this place because he knew about Dragon having a son. However, as friends know, even Ivankov wasn't made aware of this information, and for Kuma to know this would be very unlikely. The only reason as to why he could be there is because Kuma would somehow know where Nika would reappear in Fuchsia Village on Dawn Island. Seems like the perfect location. The upcoming chapters of One Piece will surely clarify that as things move forward.